You are sweating through an OrangeTheory class. Your heart rate is in the red zone. The leaderboard says you're killing it. But if you're a woman over 35, you have noticed something incredibly frustrating. You walk out that session thinking, this is the session that finally it's going to help me with the belly fat that is driving me crazy. Meanwhile, you have that friend that goes for walks, no classes, no expensive memberships. And she is the one whose clothes is getting looser and looser. And here you are sweating your ass off, frustrated because the clothes feels the same or even tighter. Here is what's actually happening inside your body. When you train at high intensity, your cortisol spikes. And when your cortisol is elevated, your body is blocked, biologically blocked from releasing visceral fat. And visceral fat is the deep belly fat that is wrapped around your organs. Truth is, it doesn't matter how many calories your watch says you burned. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 signs your body is actually releasing visceral fat, why walking triggers them, and intense workout works against them, and what your nervous system has to do with all of it. And stay until sign 5 because that one changes everything. My name is Selene. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, and once I was you, waking up at 4 in the morning, doing 2 hours of intense workouts and getting absolutely nowhere. I tried every approach, every workout, every diet. I pushed harder, I sweat more, and my body held to every single pound of fat until I understood what nobody told me. And that was that all that intensity was just flooding my body with cortisol and keeping me stuck in fat storage mode. But once I understood the connection between my nervous system and my ability to release fat, everything changed. This was back when I was 32. I released all the extra fat, and now at 48, I feel, and yes, I look better than I did in my 20s. Now, let me show you what's actually happening inside your body. But really quick, before we get into the 5 signs, you need to understand something. Visceral fat is not just sitting there. It's actually protected by insulin. So as long as insulin is elevated, an enzyme called hormone sensitive lipase stays switched off. Think of this enzyme like a key. It is the only tool your body has to unlock the fat stored deep in your abdomen. So to turn that key, your body needs to drop insulin, and it needs epinephrine and glucagon to rise. When that shift happens, blood flow increases to your belly, and your fat cells finally get the signal to open. But here is when cortisol jumps in to ruin the process. When you're doing a spin class, a circuit, high intensity workouts, your body reads that as threats. Cortisol floods your system, and cortisol tells your body, save the fat and burn the sugar. So pretty much you're working harder, but what you are doing is literally blocking the process that you're trying to trigger, meaning fat burning. Now, walking done correctly creates the exact hormonal environment you need to unlock that fat. Let me show you the 5 signs that fat burning is happening. Sign 1, the internal heat. The first sign is a deep internal warmth in your core. It usually appears around minute 20 of that walk. Most women think like sweating at the beginning of the walk is burning fat, but that sweat is just your body managing the heat from physical effort. The sign you are looking for feels different. It feels like heat radiating from your center, from your torso, not from your skin. Here is the science. After 20 minutes of steady walking, your glycogen stores begin to dip. Your body responds by increasing, uncoupling proteins inside the mitochondria of the fat cells. This protein releases energy from fatty acids as pure heat instead of storing it. Think of it like a furnace in the basement of your house. You aren't just heating the surface, you are warming the structure from the inside out because visceral fat sits deep in our belly area, right around your organs. That furnace make your core feel warm. That is your body beginning to use that visceral fat as energy. Sign 2. Nasal breathing. The second sign is your breathing, specifically when you can do your entire walk breathing through your nose. Most women have been told that huffing and puffing means you are actually working hard. The opposite is true. Heavy mouth breathing means you are in an anaerobic state. You are burning glucose because you cannot deliver oxygen fast enough to burn fat. Fat oxidations require significantly more oxygen than sugar burning. Now, when you breathe through your nose, your CO2 levels stay higher, which allows your blood to release oxygen into your tissue more efficiently. Look at it like opening a window in a stuffy room. Suddenly, there is enough air for the fat burning fire to stay lit. And this is why running or spin classes are working against your goals. You are gasping from air from minute 1. You never cross into the fat burning aerobic state. So your watch celebrates you, but your visceral fat stays there, doesn't move. By the way, regulating cortisol and get your body to finally release the fat is exactly what I help women inside my community. Sign 3, the disappearing hunger. The third sign is that your hunger disappears. Not because you're distracted, by the way, but because a very specifically biological shift. When you're burning sugar, your blood glucose drops and your body releases ghrelin, the hunger hormone. That's why you finish a run completely hungry. But when your body successfully taps into burning visceral fat, your blood becomes flooded with fatty acids, and your brain reads that as a state of energy abundance. Ghrelin gets suppressed, and the satiety hormone rises instead. Your body basically realized that it didn't need a snack because it found a huge buffet stored in your internal stores, and you finish your walk less hungry than when you started. And here is what makes this even more powerful. Intense cardio session stopped working as soon as you finish it. The walk keeps on working long after you are back home drinking your coffee. Sign 4, cold extremities. The fourth sign is a paradox, and most women completely miss it. While your core feels warm, your hands and extremities may feel cooler or stay at a neutral temperature. This is called vasomotor shunting. During high-intensity exercise, blood rushes into your skin and limbs to cool you down. But when your body is focused on releasing visceral fat, it concentrates blood flow in your trunk. It specifically increases circulation through the portal vein to transport fatty acids directly to your liver. Let me give you a silly example. It's like a smart business owner pulling the staff out of the office, your extremities, meaning the office, and putting every one of them into the main project, meaning your belly fat. So if you are 40 minutes into your walk and your core feels warm while your hands feel calm and cool, that is your body doing exactly what you want it to do. Sign 5, and my favorite, mental shift. Around the 40-minute mark, the effort you felt at the beginning starts to disappear, and something that feels like mental clarity takes over. And this is not just a mood boost. This is a metabolic signal. When your body transitions into burning visceral fat, your liver produces ketone bodies, and your brain actually prefers ketones over glucose because they are a cleaner, more stable fuel source. It's like switching from a flickering and noisy generator to a clean, silent solar power system. At the same time, visceral fat is the most inflammatory tissue inside your body. So as you release it, systemic or chronic inflammation drops. That mental clarity is your body telling you that it has shifted into a fat dominant state. Contrast that with how you feel after a crazy workout. Wired, tired, anxious. That is cortisol. That is the threat response. And that response is precisely what's keeping you stuck with the belly fat. So here is the sad truth. The fitness industry doesn't want to tell you this because it's not a membership fee for walking. For women over 35 whose cortisol is already elevated between work, family, stress, adding more intensity, it's not the answer. Your body doesn't need more stress. It needs the signal that it is safe, and walking sends that signal. So let's recap really quick the 5 signs. The core warmth, the nasal breathing, the disappear hunger, the cold or regular temperature hands, and my favorite, the mental clarity. Those are your body broadcasting that the switch have flipped. You are not just walking, you are retraining your biology. So if this video helped you understand your body in a way nothing else has, subscribe right now, because every single day I'm giving you the tools to finally release the extra weight, finally release that belly fat and the exhaustion that has been holding you back. And also, if you thought about that friend, the one that you're always talking about, the new diet, the new workout, maybe you guys work out together, send it to her. It may help her too.